Hello, friends. Sorry, I am a little bit late. I was getting my Javi. I had some coffee earlier, but I need some more. I see Brandy's here, and Nona is here, and Jamie is here. And yes, first of all, Brandy, poison ivy sucks, so I hope you don't get it. Nona, I'm so glad you're here. And Miss Jamie, I didn't know you were back in the hospital. So I hope you're here and you can tell us what's going on. Hey, Metal Music. Miss Jamie is with us, but she's back in the hospital again. So I hope she can tell us what's going on, or I'll text her afterwards to find out. She did have her pump removed, and unfortunately, there were some complications. So she was out of the hospital, and so we need to find out what's going on. We do. I did speak with her, Nona Grace, after the surgery. She was still in some pain. So I tell you what, though, I'm not from Pittsburgh. Is that the right word? No, I'm not from Pennsylvania. But those doctors there, I'm sorry, they are questionable. That's just my opinion. I've never been there. I've never had a doctor from there. Hello, Miss Jamie. How are you doing today? I hope your hospital stay is going well. We're all worried about you, and we hope you're doing good. You can tell us whatever you want to tell us. Whatever you don't, don't worry. And I will definitely text you after. I forgot my notebook's right here. Let me grab it. So today we're talking about holding in your emotions. I got a couple articles like I usually do, and then we can chat. Hi, Wilma. Welcome. How you doing today? We're going to talk about holding in our emotions. Why do we do it? I don't know. Can we be more aware of it? Because I don't always know when I'm doing it. Oh, and I'm also getting over a cold. So I no longer have the cold, but you know how you have a cold and then pump is leaking. Did you get the pump put back in already? Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to call you. Much better now. How are you guys, Jamie? You have been on my mind also. That could be why I meant back. Oh, okay. Her back is still okay. She had some trouble with spinal fluid after the surgery, and she's had the pump removed. Nona, it's been removed. So she's having post-op issues. These are the people that put the pump in, though, and they didn't do the best job then, and now they've taken it out, and they still didn't do a very good job. So, that might be Wilma. You might be having a psychic, some type of a connection that she's back in there and she's not doing well. So I'm getting over a cold. We're talking about holding in our emotions today. Why do we do it? Just I don't know why we do it. And I don't always know, like I was saying, when I do it. And I'm sure some of you are just like me. So I found a couple articles. The first one seemed like a really good one about like maybe things that happened when you were younger that you didn't realize affected you in that way. We're going to go over that. So, and also today I plan on doing a giveaway of a wellness pack. It's just stickers and a little bracelet. Excuse me. Metal Music says after large bean burrito, it's going to happen sooner or later. So keeping the emotions in, just let it all out. Yes. This is the thing. I think it's us girls. It's not you guys that do it. It's us girls. We just can't. I don't know what it is. I'm sure there are plenty of guys that don't let the emotions out, but Yeah. It's just the thing that gets me is I get caught off guard by it because I don't do it intentionally. Yep. Yep. Started leaking Memorial Day. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's the last time we text. You said Happy Memorial Day. It was so sweet. I'm having my Javi. I need to get the caffeine. I need an IV is what I need, but the liquid comes on pretty quick too. All right, so let's get this started. If there's anybody who's here who actually wants to know about the topic. So, share screen with the the dangers of bottling up emotions. Now, I found this on verywell.com. It's a mental health blog. And you can see the photo right there. We need to make it a little bigger so I can read it right here. Okay, that's better. I find that getting rid of things is stirring up emotions. Yes, yes. Like, why am I so attached to this certain item? Yeah, it's leaking like a faucet. Holy crap, Jamie. I think that's spinal fluid too that we're talking about. Yeah, that makes no sense. Oh, man. She was concerned about going back to Pennsylvania, and they were well-warranted concerns. I mean, it had to be done, had to be taken out. So what I'm going to do is go over to the article and start reading. Oh, spinal fluid. It's Dangers of Bottling Up Our Emotions by Wendy Rose Gold. It's on verywellmind.com. Okay. Keeping our emotions closer. Can I make this any bigger? Because I can't see so good today. There we go. Well, now I can't see the comments, so that's not going to work either. Exit full. Can we get one that's just a teensy bit bigger? It's either full screen or not. No, I don't disagree with him. When you find something that you haven't seen in a long time, like in this move, when we moved, everything I need, I have. There's more stuff at the house. Don't get me wrong. There's more stuff there. And I need to go and get it, which I'm going to do. But do I need to bring it back here or should I just toss it in the trash? And that's where my heart's like, well, what if there's something important in there? But my brain is going, if there was something important there, you would have got it already. And my heart's going, but what if there's something important in there? And my brain is not agreeing with my heart. So I understand what he's saying, but I also understand where you're coming from, Nona, because it's not as easy. Sounds easy, right? Just toss it out. Sounds easy, but it's not. And I'm actually very good at it because my mom never throws anything away. Nada, nothing. She's got so much stuff. She had a storage unit for a long time. She did finally get rid of the storage unit, so she got rid of some of that stuff in there. And but I'm not the worst in my family, honest. Yeah, yeah. But why do we do that? I don't know. I don't know why we do that. So we're gonna read the article and we're gonna find out. All right. All right. Keeping our emotions close to our chest can often feel safer, but it isn't always the healthiest way to move through life. That's true because if you keep your emotions close to your chest, no one can judge you. They don't know what they can't hurt your feelings if they don't know what you're feeling. I think I am a bit of a hoarder sometimes, Jamie, with makeup. Yeah, I know. I still have my first palette that I considered, what is that called? Premium or premier makeup. My first Tarte palette. I still have it. And I decluttered a bunch of stuff, but I kept it. I was like, this doesn't, it's not pigmented. It doesn't show up very well. It's old, but It's so I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, makeup is one as well as just other stuff. I can throw hair care stuff away. I actually give it to my granddaughter. At 2 o'clock, we are donating my karaoke system to the school. It is well worth. Well, that is very generous, Nona, because they will use that, and that at the school that will be beneficial to the kids, I believe. So that is very generous of you. Yeah. And if I can do something like that, it doesn't sting as much. But if it's something that's well worn and it's just like at the end date and I'm like, oh, but I love it and I've had it and I don't want to get rid of it. But that's very generous of you, Nona. But makeup. I think I gave Linnea, my granddaughter, my Beauty Bay palette because it was used. There was still plenty of product in it. And I was like, oh, I haven't used it in a long time. I gave it to her. And now I'm like looking for a palette that's like that. And I'm going to end up just buying that Beauty Bay palette again because I love that thing. It's the only makeup I miss right now. It's the only makeup I'm like, because when we do Friday lives, we're going to make sure we start doing makeup. And I do need to use different palettes, though. I really do need to use different palettes. But I get in a groove with some of them, and I just don't. But I don't want to pan. I'm afraid to pan. That is something I am not interested. The panning videos with skincare, I don't mind it, but with my eyeshadow palettes, I don't want to pan them because they're like, they're like right here, especially the really pretty ones and the ones that cost a little bit. You don't want to necessarily get rid of all those. Okay, I'm going to go back over here, put you here. Hope you guys can see that okay. All right. This approach prevents us from discussing our needs, which can turn into a cyclical issue and prevents us from truly connecting with others over the long term. Bottling up emotions can even backfire in unexpected ways related to our mental and physical health. Electronic. Oh, I know they will enjoy it. Speakers, stands, mics, fog machine, 50 CDs, and more. Electronic drum. Yes, they will enjoy that. So I try to be very open and honest with people. Oh, Joe, hey Joe. You are not late. We've been chit-chatting. We just started the article, so you're not late. um So we're talking about suppressing emotions today. And the article that I have, let me bring it back up here, is it's helping us to see like I'm pretty like I tell you guys all my stuff here. I really do. But there's oftentimes emotions that we don't realize we're having until someone says, "Hey, the sky's blue," and you go, has that ever happened to anybody here? Those are the ones that you bottle up and you don't really know about or you don't understand them. But for the most part, I tell all my stuff here so I can get my emotions out. This side you can see right through my hair. Um so yeah, so I try to get them out because I know it's not good for me personally to hold them in. But I don't always understand what I'm doing. I don't. And the brain, we don't understand the brain anyway. The brain is, what do we know? Scientists say we know like 10% of what the brain actually does. And I don't even know what that 10% is. So, you know, um uh all right, let's read a little bit more. Okay. Long-term bottling emotions that's what I was just talking about, can backfire in unexpected ways related to our mental and physical health. Why we tend to bottle up our emotions. There are so many scenarios in which we feel compelled to suppress our feelings. For example, we may just want to get through the day. We tell ourselves we'll deal with the emotions later. We'll think the feeling isn't worth exploring, or we try to conceal our feelings in order to make a relationship work. I used to suppress my emotions a lot. I try to be an open book now. It was really hard on me keeping everything inside. It is. It's very hard on us physically, emotionally, and we don't often realize it, right? We don't always know what's going on with our emotions. Um but yeah, like at work, when I worked at the steel mill. So I'm an electrician, one of the few female electricians with a bunch of guys. So I know I bottled emotions there because I didn't want the guys teasing me or, saying she's, such a woman because when I was an electrician, that we were still the minority. It wasn't, I mean, now it seems to be getting better in the world. There's still, women can't do this, women can't do that kind of ideals. But at the steel mill, there was a lot of that. My hair is driving me nuts, you guys. Sorry. Um, Thank you so very much for thinking about me. You are welcome. We're always thinking about you, Miss Jamie, and especially on Wednesday. We always want you to come here and visit us. So I know when I was at the steel mill, I bottled my emotions. Now, when I come home and the person who would get the brunt of it was my husband. Yeah, I can't believe I'm still married. You know, I had to figure that out. And I did figure that out eventually, but then I still was stuffing them down. I still was. So that I knew. I knew I was doing that. I actually knew what I was doing. And I was one of the people like in the article, I'll deal with it later. I'll deal with it later. And therapy does help with that. But if you don't have a therapist, what do you do? Well, you get a really good friend like Miss Jamie and you tell her all your stuff. um, but still, I know it's not healthy. And it wasn't healthy for me then either. I know I have high blood pressure now, diabetes, and some of it is my weight, but I believe some of it is as well as just from stuffing all the emotions down, dealing with people who were doing the same. Those guys, they're doing the same thing. They want to talk about women this and women that, but they're still doing the same thing. Because I couldn't find one of them there who wasn't having trouble, who didn't know how to deal with it either. So, Nona says, when I was at the school, I used to keep things to myself. A lot of girls were 30 to 40 years younger than me, and they really didn't have the ethic that I was raised with. That is true. That is true. Um, we were very poor and had a farm. Honestly, I feel like there wasn't time to feel emotions. We were trying to just survive. Now that everyone is financially okay, and now I let myself have emotions. Okay, I get that, Joe. We just were raised not to we were raised not to cry. What are you crying for? Stop crying. We were not raised to be affectionate. We were not raised to be, here's all my emotions, this is how you deal with it. And so my sisters and I myself, we tried to, the kids in the family, we try to get them to share. Now some of them don't want to, but they know that they can if they need to. So I unload on Crystal a lot too, Jamie says. We unload on each other. We go back and forth all the time. It's hot today in Michigan. It's 80 degrees, so this coffee's going down real good. Real nice and good. I should start talking faster and faster and faster soon. All right. Okay. We think feelings isn't worth exploring. True. And like you were saying, Joe, you had other stuff going on first. And Jamie, she always has the kids first. Nona, I'm not sure what you got. Hey Tiffany, how you doing, pretty lady? We're talking about stuffing down our emotions. So, and I know you know some stuff about that. I came from a really huggy family, and Jim's family didn't hug. It's a totally different dynamic, isn't it? Because I don't like we weren't a huggy family, and now all of a sudden everybody wants to be hugging me, and I'm like, "Hold up." I mean, it's nice and everything, but I don't I'm just not I don't feel any relief when people hug me. I don't feel good when I get hugged. That's just I don't know. Up here maybe. But we definitely were emotions were at the back. Um we had to I stuff them down and then they explode. Yeah, yeah, they come out like when you least expect it. Like I was saying, like, oh, the sky is blue, and then I'll cuss somebody out for no reason. Know, that's what happens with me. And it's totally inappropriate. And I feel so bad afterwards, and I'm apologizing and apologizing. I always apologize for the person because that's the only way I can forgive myself. But yeah, they come out at the worst times. And I don't and I regret those times too. You know what I mean? I feel bad. And so I'd like to prevent them. Hey, Zach. Hey, Crystal. This is something I struggle with. I struggle with letting my emotions out. I bottle them up and explode. Yes, Zach. I think we're all in that boat. I'm hoping that going through this article is going to teach us some coping mechanisms and some techniques to help with that. That's where I'm at with that. Crystal, what if the person you apologize doesn't accept it? Can you still forgive yourself? I can. I tried. I can. Has that ever happened to me before where someone doesn't forgive me? Yeah, I think I've apologized, like especially to like family. I have a sister that's a pretty tough nut, and she'll be like, "Sure, okay." And she really didn't mean it. But I'm like, I did my best. I told you I was sorry. I didn't mean to do it. We got in a huge argument. I'm just gonna, if you want to contact me, you can contact me and then I'll check in sometimes. But right now we're good. We're doing really well. But that happens. Yes. Yes. I can still forgive myself. Not everybody can, but I can because you have to because I feel like I tried. I did my best. So, and I know that God knows my heart. He knows my heart. So, I understand that you're not accepting my apology now. You're going to need time. I get it. Things can't be fixed immediately. I know that. Um, and so we just got to kind of let it work its way out. And like I said, it's usually family, usually family. So when I was trying to explore my emotions on my own, I blew up at sweet, loving people. The therapist helped me learn how to cope. Right, Joe? That's who gets it. Our immediate family. My husband was, he was the one. And I've had to apologize to him several times. Now, Zach, why can't you do therapy? Your dad's in therapy. We've talked to you about therapy. A lot of us go to therapy. Why can't you do therapy, Zach? Let's talk about that. All growth requires you to embrace the uncomfort. Exactly. And apologizing does not come second nature to me. It does not. An honest, heartfelt apology. When we were little, we never received apologies from our parents, any adults. They would always say to the kids, "Say you're sorry. Say you're sorry." So you go, "Sorry." And you didn't mean it. So it is uncomfortable for me to apologize. And sometimes, the smooshy stuff when you do forgive each other and then there are hugs, those hugs are okay for me. But just because I saw you today, I don't need to hug you. Oh, Zach, I understand that you have that fear, but that's not what the therapist is for. The therapist will help you get over that. The therapist is not going to judge you. And if the therapist does judge you, get a different therapist. So, yes. And I agree, Tiffany. All growth requires you to embrace the uncomfortable. Yeah, because I said to my sister just the other day, I have two sisters and a brother. So I sometimes say stupid stuff, and my mom. I sometimes say stupid stuff and they get mad at me. It's just how it is. I have a big mouth. I am sometimes stupid. you know. So I have developed a way to apologize. Um so yeah. Yeah, so I have developed a way to apologize. if you try, Zach, and if someone judges you, I know it's a fear. I know. I still have that fear myself of being judged. Sometimes I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to Walmart and I don't wear pajamas yet, but I still, I'm just wearing my regular everyday clothes. If I just got out the yard, I'm running to the store. But other I don't know, it's hard. I think everyone has that fear, Zach, but you gotta get uncomfortable, and you're gonna have to talk to somebody about it. People are gonna judge you. Yup. 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 And I agree with Tiffany. I say sorry too much still, Joe says. I do the same thing, and I'm not sorry. Why does it come out of my mouth? I have to work list from therapy for not I have a work list from therapy, and not apologizing for everything is what I'm working on now. Right? Somebody will bump into me and I'll go, "Oh, sorry." Hey, frugal mama. Zach. I say sorry a lot too. I do. And it's like Joe said, it's something that she's working on. It's something she's working on. And that's all we really can do is work on it. So that's why we're talking about it today. It's something that happens that we can deal with. And so we'll do our best and work on it. But Zach, you really should think about a therapist. You really should. I know you say you don't want one, but the worst I've had bad therapists before, but they don't judge you. They just don't tell you anything. They don't help you with anything. But they're not judging you. They're just like, "Oh, okay." They're just listening, but not offering any solutions or coping mechanisms. So I've never had therapists go, "Hey, you're ugly. That's why you have such a difficult time doing blah, blah, blah." And I would be like, "I know I'm not ugly. You can call me anything else you want, but I'm not ugly." And I'm hilarious, right? So, but no, Zach, I've never had any therapist do that. I don't think you'll encounter that personally. And I say try your dad's therapist and see what happens. Without getting into specifics, is there something not good happening with you right now? Not right now. My sister, this year is the second anniversary of my niece's. She died by suicide. And so it's still a very raw time for my family. And stuff has been, stuff comes up. And a couple of months ago, it was May. May is the month that happened. So a couple of months ago, I saw her mom and we got into an argument, and it didn't end well. But she cooled off. She's still trying to evolve, trying to learn about her mental health and how to deal with stuff as well. um but yeah, that's the heaviness, is that yesterday we had a really great talk, and she's doing better, but there's still a long way to go. The death of a child is the worst, and I know we have some people here who've experienced that. But yeah, that's what's been going on with me lately. Yep. Um, and I don't always, and like when it comes, you start to feel a certain way, but you don't realize what it is until May hits. So like March and April, you might be all like mean and grumpy and snippy and snappy. Then you're like, oh my God, what, I'm feeling these feelings, are you're feeling that time of year coming up. And so we just kind of went through that, and we're kind of coming out of it right now. So, and I am getting over a cold. So I don't know if that's what it is, but that heaviness has been around me for a couple months now. She passed in the beginning of May, and it's only been a couple years, and she had two kids. And so there's a whole lot of drama right there. And so just family working through it, grieving. It's okay to grieve. I'm telling them it's okay for us to feel this way. It's okay. If we get it out, then we don't snap at each other for breathing, like Zach said. My dad has a good therapist. See, Zach, you really should just check them out. Check them out. My brother's been gone 9 years now, and it still doesn't feel real. And I don't know if it ever does, Zach. I don't know if it ever does, because I think about her all the time. And sometimes you have to go, oh, wait, I can't text her. I can't go see her. So Jamie said, if by any chance the doctor comes in to look at the leak, I'll try to be right back. Oh, Jamie, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're here for another hour. You do what you got to do, girl. She's in excuse me, she's in the hospital. So but yeah, that's what's been going on with me, Tiffany. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. And like we were talking, sometimes you don't want to burden people, but that's what we're here for. We're here to talk about these things so that we can feel better, so that we can empathize with each other. And I don't know if my sister's listening. It'd be great if she was, but or if she saw this in retro. But I told her, I said, we love you so much. There is nothing you can say, nothing you can do. You're my sister. There's nothing you can do that is going to keep me from being your sister. And we just had a really good talk yesterday, and it was just yesterday. So I can't listen to certain songs. Happy because it reminds me of him. Right? I understand that, Zach. But I do know that you're doing much better when his birthday comes around. You know, you do some posts about him, and I think talking about him is awesome. I think that's great that you do that. I just think a little bit of therapy would be even better. That's all. That's all. Okay, let's go back over here real quick and see what else they got to tell us. Okay. Ultimately, though, we tend to bottle up our feelings for one key reason. It seems easier and safer to do so. And that's the truth. It seems easier, doesn't it? Like it's easier to bottle up. It's easier to bottle up my feelings than it is to come here and express them to you guys. But you guys know me and you understand me. So I don't fear coming here and talking to you at all. I don't. But like if I have certain emotions, like sometimes my husband, it's kind of hard to I tell him, but I don't know if he always knows what I'm saying, the language of women and men and, But yeah, what was I saying? I can't see that picture. This is driving me nuts. I guess Crystal, put your glasses on so you can read it, but it looks really tiny today for some reason. Let's see if I can see it. Ah, there it is. The reason we sometimes bottle up our emotions can vary. No, that's not it. What did I push it up? I pushed it up too high because this was the part I was looking for. We tend to bottle up our feelings for one key reason. It seems easier to do so. And it does. It's easier if I get upset for me to hold that in than to express it at that time. But then I need to remember to express it later and not hold it in. So, and that doesn't often happen. All right, let's see what else. The reason we sometimes or most times bottle up our emotions can vary, but they all seem to stem from a fear of vulnerability. Out of this fear, we react through self protective emotional measures, says Dr. Colleen Mullen. Bottling up emotions provides a false sense of emotional safety. She says that some people learn as they grow up that expressing their emotions isn't safe. There are different ways this can play itself out in childhood. For some, the parent is dismissive or minimizing of their emotions. And that has happened to me, I can say for sure. And it was how my parents were raised. They raised us the best they knew how. Their parents raised them the best they knew how. So I don't want to blame anyone. These are just facts. That is just how I was raised. Sometimes it's easier at the moment to hold feelings in, but we need a safe way to release those emotions later on. Exactly, Joe. We need a safe way to release those emotions later on. And therapy helps us do that. Because when I couldn't talk to my sister or my brother or my mom, I could talk to my therapist. So, but when you don't release the emotions or they get stuffed down, that's when we tend to explode, right? Okay. So parents dismissing their emotions, that has happened to me, but I don't want to, again, I don't want to blame. That's just the facts. Okay. The parent is scary in their own expression of emotions or threatening to them. No, I was never scared. I just was always told, don't cry. There's no reason to cry, get over it. I'm sure you guys have all heard these things. We got more important things to do now. You're fine, you know. Um it can be an early awareness that the parent is overwhelmed and doesn't respond well if the child expresses their needs or feelings. Um, and that could be true as well. My dad worked full time. My mom was basically a single mom. She had the financial support from him, but she raised 4 kids. So she may have been overwhelmed at that time. Okay, let me go back in. Okay. Those children can grow up to be the adult who becomes stifled emotionally. The stifling or avoidance of emotional expression ends up feeling like a fear of being told no, abandonment, or being judged negatively. All right. So I totally understand how I see that how as when I was a little kid that did happen and that could have caused me to not deal with my emotions appropriately. So now what we do, like with my granddaughter or with my nieces and nephews, we try to deal with their emotions appropriately so that they can get it out. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. What's a tantrum? They're trying to express some frustration or something in an inappropriate in the store, right? And sometimes they just spoiled, but sometimes something's going on. And my my sisters, myself, my brother, all the grandkids, we try to get them to be more emotionally open and emotionally available. Now, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect, you know. But here's my thought on that. If I'm available, they can come to me anytime. If they don't come to me, I don't know if it's appropriate to reach out, especially now that some of them are older and they don't want to, if they already know how I am about talking about emotions and stuff. So if they don't want to talk about them, they're not gonna call me or text me or visit me because they would rather, keep it to themselves. So, and so Joe, I totally understand that. So with our next generation, we don't have wealth to impart on them. We are trying to impart better emotional well-being because most of my family, both sides, mom and dad, have mental health issues. Some undiagnosed, some unaware, but all have some type of mental health issue. Some more serious than others as well. So that's a big on my to-do list with the kids is, this exists, this can happen, you got to deal with it. And like I said, my mom and dad, they did the best they knew. So I don't hold anything against them. It's just like I was saying, it's just the facts. Okay. Did we already do this? Okay. Why hiding our feelings can often backfire. Through bottling up our emotions, well, though bottling up our emotions can feel like a good plan in the short term, doing so can adversely affect us in the following ways. Excuse me. It can put strain on our mental health for sure. I totally have been a victim of that, holding them in and straining, putting a strain on my depression or anxiety. Chronic dismissal of our own feelings can ultimately impact our self-confidence over time. We may feel like nobody cares about our needs or desires and that our opinion or voice does not matter. It can also cause us to feel stressed, depressed, or anxious. In some cases, we may even feel deeply angry or rageful and develop feelings of resentment towards others. And I will have to tell you, I've felt all those feelings. I've been resentful towards people and angry and but as I got older, I realized it's because I was holding my feelings in and not sharing them. And I still to this day have not met anyone who can read my mind. And I know that's silly, but sometimes we forget that. We think, what's going on in my head? I would think like, why doesn't my mom know this? Well, I had to realize I didn't tell her. And I don't know if anybody else is guilty of that, but that's what when you hold in the emotions and you become resentful. I think one day, I mean, it's been several years, maybe 5 or 6 years. She was on the phone with me and I just went off on her. It wasn't about what was going on at the moment. It was about some other stuff that just built up. And I was at work. This is very unusual for me. And I just went off. I got so upset. I said, I'm going to have to go now. I will call you back when I can actually speak words and not be so angry. So it took me some time to figure out what was going on with me. And then I called her and apologized to her. But that's what happens. Feelings of, they said resentment, feelings of anger, rage, all that stuff. And you're like, why is this person not getting me? Why is this person? And I had to eventually say to myself, Crystal, this person isn't getting you because you're not telling them what you're feeling. So now I tell everybody everything. At least I think I do, you know. And then you still run into those moments where you're like, you go off and then you're like, what am I doing? Why am I going off? I'm an adult. I wish I had 100% control over my mind, body, emotions. I do not. My emotions can at some points control me still at 53. I try my best. I try my best. And that's all we can do is try. So, all right, let's read some more. I think I got to scroll down. Yeah. So it puts a strain on your mental health and it compromises your physical health. There's some evidence that bottling up our emotions can lead to physical stress on the body. The stress caused, wait. The stress caused to the body can lead to increased diabetes and heart disease risk. Other effects can be memory difficulties, okay, for your physical health. And that's why I said I think a lot of genetically, I'm predisposed to anxiety and depression. It's in my family. But I believe that my work situation that I was in with the bottling of the emotions and things, I believe that caused the anxiety and depression to become out of control at that time. Jamie said, I am very angry here in the hospital. I know. What's going on with you would make anybody angry. Feel free to express your emotions, Miss Jamie, in the chat. Tell us what's going on, how you doing. If you need to vent, you go ahead and you vent. So it can compromise our physical health, holding in our emotions. I agree and have been a victim of that. Because now my diabetes is very good and I am not at work. I am not in those situations and I'm taking the same medications, but it's just so much better now. So, sure, much better now. All right. Nourishing social relation. Okay. Impeding our social relationships. Nourishing social relationships are vital to our overall well-being. After all, we are social creatures at our core. When we don't adequately express ourselves, our relationships cannot grow in meaningful ways. Let me read that again. Nourishing social relationships are vital to our overall well-being. After all, we are social creatures at our core. When we do not adequately express ourselves, our relationships cannot grow in meaningful ways. Okay. I understand that. And I'll be the first to tell you, I am not a social creature. I know I'm on YouTube, right? But I don't have a large group of friends other than all my friends here on YouTube. My close friends are my family, and I have one or two good friends from when I was younger. So I don't have a huge social network. I don't feel like I need that. Now, some people do need that. Um, and when I was younger, being, don't express your emotions, don't cry, don't do this, don't do that. So I didn't have a lot of friends when I was younger either. Now that I did get my feelings hurt by those type of things when you're a kid, I had to grow out of that. Um, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say I didn't have a lot of friends then, and I don't have a lot of friends now, but I am better socially with the friends that I do have. I am better socially with you guys, with my friends at home and my family. Where before I did my emotional deep dive, I was not a good friend. I don't think when I was younger I was a very good friend. So, um and that could be from not sharing my emotions as well. Okay. Human contact can help balance our nervous system and allows for a broader perspective, protecting us from digressing into loops of fear and false beliefs. Most importantly, unless you are open and honest, how will you ever be seen and known? And if you are not known, how can you possibly be loved for who you truly are? Okay. Let's see what's next. I was hoping for some more. There we go. Signs you're bottling your emotions. So, yeah, I am much more mature now. I am much better with my friends now. Um, and also, I want people to like me for who I am, because at this point in my life, I can't be anybody else but who I am. Does that make sense? You get to a point where you're like, I know I have this, I know I see the sky as green when there's no, or when it's blue. That's a bad example. I want my friends to know who I am. Hello, hello, Duchess. That's my sister, and she is here. Hello. We're talking about keeping our feelings down, and I was talking a little bit about how we were raised. Not blaming anybody, that's just facts, that we were just like not very, very emotional people, very, very huggy people. We just were not raised that way, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just how it was. I think that means you're waving at me. All right, I'm going to read some more from this article that we've got going on here. I'm going to blow my nose a little bit. Oh, signs you're bottling up your emotions. Yeah, I definitely wanted to read that. I am going to mute you guys for a second so that I can do this, because I'm there we go. Much better, much better. All right. Signs you're bottling your emotions. Did I bring my phone? I did bring my phone. And you know what? I didn't turn on my live. I'm so bad at that, you guys. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Just 1 second. All right. Okay, so signs you're bottling your emotions. Let me make it a little bit bigger and see if that will help. Okay. Okay, so that is my sister. That is my sister. Let's see. While in some cases we consciously push down our feelings, it's common to do so without even realizing it. And that's me. I don't even realize it sometimes. Some signs you're not wholly expressing your emotions include, excuse me, it seems like other people don't get you. You're not getting what you want out of time spent with others. You often experience somatic symptoms such as upset stomach or digestive issues, headaches, racing heart, and tension. You experience growing anger and frustration with the world and others. You develop feelings of resentment toward others. If you think someone else might be bottling up their emotions, there are some things to look out for as well. And I would have to say, out of those 5 things, I don't do all of them anymore, but I have done them. I have thought people don't get me. I'm a little bit weird though, so I kind of give them grace on that. I have you're not getting what you want of time spent with others. I have been in that situation as well. Now I'm able to, like, I tell my husband what's up, why I'm feeling a certain way, and so he can understand and better deal with me and my emotions. Now, semantic symptoms, upset stomach. Okay. I used to get an upset stomach sometimes, but I do not get that anymore. And you experience anger and frustration with the world and others. I don't do that anymore, but I've been there, you guys. I've been in that situation. You develop feelings of resentment. Yes, I have been a resentful person in my past. So, um, let's go. So I have dealt with all those things. Anybody in here dealing with anything like that now? Go ahead and leave it in the chat and we'll talk about it. Um, so those are some signs. And I would have to say what I do sometimes is seems like other people don't get you. And I think that's me not giving 100% of myself. So or holding back or any of those things. Let's see. Let's make this bigger so we can read it. There we are. If you think someone else might be bottling up their emotions, there's some things to look out for as well. I got a grand dog, but they think they are slick. She's getting a Yorkie. Is it a Yorkie? Did you get the dog already? Her daughter got her a doggy, a puppy. Okay. Signs that someone is bottling up emotions can be detected in choice words, tone, and body language. Some individuals may also unconsciously fold their bodies inward, wringing their hands, tap their fingers or feet, dart their eyes, or shake their head. Now, I often tap my fingers or my feet. She adds, their response to being asked something as basic as tell me about yourself might range from a simple I don't know to an attempt to change the subject, shut down the conversation, or even leaving the room. It's a trick to get me off my butt. He's here. Oh, it's a boy. She's got a boy. uh I think it's gonna work though. You're gonna, yeah. Once you fall in love with the puppy, it's all over. It's all over with. Okay. So here's some information about how to get better at expressing yourself. This is what I need right here. Because like I said, I'm much better now. I when I was younger, I was much worse, but I still get caught off guard by sometimes I don't realize I'm not expressing my feelings. I'm holding them in, and I think it's just like old habits die hard, you guys. It's like you know, um Let's see. Where's the top? My thingy is messed up. It does this to me sometimes, and it is annoying. Nope, that's not what I want. I want this. And it's like it cuts off the top of the picture. Shift. I know. Crystal, quit playing with the screen. I know. Oh, it's so annoying to me. Make sure you post puppy pictures. Okay. Yeah. Okay. How to get better at expressing yourself. So this is something that what I'm trying to do is see how many people are still here. That's what I'm trying to do. And it's at the top, but it won't show me. Come on. Is it this part here? No. Full screen layout? No, I don't want full screen layout. What's going on? There it is. Okay. All right. So there are 3 of us still here. Okay. Okay. How to get better at expressing yourselves. All right. Expressing our emotions doesn't always come naturally. Rather, it's something that takes practice and a dedication to honoring ourselves over time. We can develop the skill set to process and express our feelings. Dr. Mullen says one of the best ways to become getting better at expressing yourself is to just say what you mean. It sounds simple enough, but this will take practice. Start small and focus on positive feelings, and over time, you'll build that muscle. Excuse me. Okay. I felt really loved when you cooked dinner the other night. It might be saying things like this. I'm hoping you can help me out on Saturday with the project. I want to make sure you understand where I am coming from, and I feel happy when we do things like this together. I do try to express positive um, things like that. And again, sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes you just got to do it. From there, you can graduate to expressing neutral or disappointed feelings. Some examples might include, sometimes I feel like you don't hear me. I'm really disappointed that you are not going to help me on Saturday. I felt sad when you forgot about XYZ, and I'm frustrated that I need to bring this topic up again. Those are a little more those sentences are a little more difficult. They're a little more difficult because you're not always going to get positive feedback from those additional sentences. But you you'll feel better. You'll feel better, when you tell someone, because if you do it in this manner with these sentences, with the way that they've worded it in this article, it's going to be better than in 6 months when you start just lashing out. You blah, 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 and you did this, and I hate you, and blah, 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 and all the things. I'm sure we've all been there. Let's see. Put my glasses back on. All right. A word from Very Well. Often the tendency to conceal our emotions is a deeply ingrained habit that we've developed over time. It requires real diligence to break this cycle and to begin expressing ourselves to others. Though doing so might feel uncomfortable, dangerous, or difficult, don't give up. The reward is worth the effort. I totally agree. I totally agree with all that. The tendency to conceal our emotions is deeply ingrained habit that we develop over time. Right? I think it's something that we learn from a very young age, and it goes with us all the way into our adulthood and can cause problems for us as adults. So, all right, we still have half an hour. Let's go to, well, I got 2 more articles, but I'm going to check them and see if I think that they will be interesting. Bottling up emotions, common for children. Let's see. This is talking about adults and children. So Let's check this one out. This one might be interesting. You guys let me know what you think. If you want to stop talking about this, if this is not interesting, or if it is helpful. And there we go. There we go. So who do we still have here? We still got 4 people here. Oh, sorry guys, I'm stretching a little bit. I think I slept okay. I got up at like 5, and then I got up at 5, then I went back to bed, and I had to get up at 9 for my Walmart order came this morning. Got my groceries. Does anybody here get your groceries delivered? I really like it, and it does in the long run save me money. So I would like more coffee. I think I may have some more coffee when we get done. Some more Ajavi coffee. All right. So what do you think about this bottling up emotions discussion? Is this helpful? Is anybody here interested? Is it the sun's starting to come in my window? I should put the shade up, but I'll wait. Yeah, just let me know what you know in the comments, or you can always go to the replay and leave me some information there too. So, because it helps me doesn't always mean it helps anyone else. But yeah, I don't understand why I still bottle them up. I think you have to work on it for like the rest of your life. I think that's where I'm at. I'm doing better. I'm trying. But sometimes I get caught off guard and it just crushes me. It's like you're 53 years old and you're still doing these kind of things. That could be me just being really hard on myself though. And like Joe said, a safe way to release emotions. I think therapy is one of the best ways to do that. A confidant always helps, but with a therapist, if you have a good one, they can guide you better to find out what's really bothering you. So, all right, let's start this next article. And Miss Jamie, let us know you're okay if you're still here with us. She said the doctor might be coming in, so that is highly possible. Okay, what is bottling up your emotions? Smothering or bottling up emotions is suppressing one's feelings rather than expressing them openly and honestly. Also known as expressive suppression. Now, this is the first time I've heard this term, and I probably won't remember it. It's a common technique used to regulate difficult emotions such as fear, anger, and sadness, or hide them from others. Okay. It's common for children and adults to conceal outward displays of emotion during social interaction. For example, instead of throwing a tantrum, a child may silently share his toys after their parents insist. A teacher may suppress her anger after being criticized by the principal. Okay. Let's keep going. Causes. Emotional suppression behavior in adults is most likely learned behavior from their childhood. Several factors influence whether a child uses expressive suppression as a coping mechanism in challenging situations. Okay. A social norm in different cultures contributes to children's understanding of the appropriate expressions of emotions. Cultures shape children's valuation systems and affect how social situations are evaluated. Cultures that value individualism may view hiding human emotions as stifling individuality, whereas cultures that value interdependence, I think this one's a little bit too complicated for me. these big words are really, I'm getting hung up on them. So I'm going to stop that screen and open the next one and see what we get here. Look. All right, share your screen. Present. Okay. All right. 6 things that happen when you bottle up your emotions. Let me make sure that I am still live. YouTube. I'm still here. There we go. Oh, it says I'm still live. Okay, so we're good. Here. Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure that we haven't accidentally gone off the live. All right, 6 things that happen when you bottle up your emotions. When we refrain from venting out or sharing what we're feeling, we are said to be bottling. When we refrain from venting out or sharing what we're feeling, we are said to be bottling your emotions up. And this has an adverse effect on our minds and bodies. So venting is good. I think venting is really good. I think getting it off your chest, telling it to somebody else. What did I do? This is what I meant to do. Don't you hate that when you can't tell where your hair's messed up? Anyways. So venting. I encourage my friends to vent to me and they let me vent to them. You got to get it out somehow. So I do know that. So, but these are usually large, big things that you know that you need help with. It's just some of the bottling up of the smaller emotions and things that aren't stuff that you're not really sure about, or you just don't realize you're doing it. That's when venting and talking to someone who knows how to direct you, a therapist, can be very helpful. All right. Where you at? There you are. Okay. All right. And this has an adverse effects on your mind and body. A lot of this is from earlier as well, repetitive. But there are 6 things that happen when you bottle your emotions, and that's what we're getting to, the 6 things, to see if there's anything. Okay. To bottle up means to suppress your feelings. It is when you refrain from venting out that you end up bottling your emotions, be it due to the fear of seeming weak, right? Or the unwillingness to feel the negativity, but avoiding challenging emotions does not make them go away. The fact that they have an adverse effect on our minds and bodies. In fact, they have an adverse effect on our minds and bodies. We need to understand just how intrinsically our bodies and minds are connected and why this makes mental health such a... Hi, Miss Amy. Hi, Amy. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. We're talking about stuffing down or stop. I already forgot what it was. Oh, stop. I'm on my second article and we haven't really been chatting. Oh, what happens when you bottle up your emotions? 6 things that happen when you bottle up your emotions. So that's where we're at. We're going to start the 6 things. So how are you doing today? Welcome, welcome. Miss Jamie was here earlier. She should be back, though. I hope she comes back. I will text her. She's in the hospital today, so need to get more info on what's going on with her. All right. So number 1, 6 things. Okay. You end up feeling lonely. this is something that happens when you bottle your emotions. When you bottle up your emotions, you tend to cut yourself off from others, thus disconnecting from your friends. I'm doing okay. I just got my tooth pulled. Oh, ouch. Yes. Hopefully the gas, if you got gas, it's still you're still feeling the goodness effects of the gas still. Thank you, Amy. I am so thank you because um I think it's just because it's summertime, everybody's busy, but I wasn't sure if this was a good topic or not. But we're still chugging along. We're gonna finish the 6 things in the 20 minutes. And anyway, you end up feeling lonely when you bottle up your emotions. So if you've been a good listener to your friends when they are venting out, perhaps it's time to swap places. Talk openly about what's happening with you. And that's a sign of an awesome friend, by the way. You vent and then they vent, you guys go back and forth. That is an excellent friend because you don't want it to be just one-sided, right? You want them to share with you as well as you sharing with them. And you always feel more comfortable with someone who's shared their life with you. You don't want to tell a complete stranger things and not know anything. You want a good friend that you're safe with. That's what we talked about earlier, being safe, a way to cope, a way to express yourself, being safe. Because that's a big reason too that we keep our emotions in because we don't necessarily feel safe expressing them. Okay. This one has lots of commercials. That was number 1. You end up feeling lonely. You feel anxious all the time. Okay. Bottling up emotions, find a way to come out in one way or the other. So when you choose not to deal with what you're feeling, your mind tends to latch onto the fact that you are trying to deceive it. This sense induces feelings of anxiety, thus making you feel perpetually anxious. Now, that is something that we did not see in the other article. That bottling up your emotions will find a way to come out one way or another. Now, we all know that we've dealt with that where you just get mad for no reason and you don't know why, or someone gets mad at you for no reason. Oh no, just big needles. We got nothing here in Maine. Oh no. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Well, I hope that the pain goes away quickly because I've had my tooth pulled. And actually, I didn't mind it as much as a root canal. The root canal really tore me up. So when you choose not to deal with what you are feeling, your mind tends to latch onto the fact that you are trying to deceive it. I did not know that. So when you don't address your feelings, your mind is like something's off. Your mind is understanding that something is off now. So you've stuffed down your feelings and your mind is going, okay. You know how you have those weird dreams sometimes and you're like, why? I think that's the anxiety too coming in. Your mind tends to latch on the fact that you are trying to deceive it. This sense induces feelings of anxiety, thus making you feel perpetually anxious. That is very interesting to me because I do have those anxiety dreams where stuff will come up and I'm like, geez, what's that from? And it's a dream I remember. If I remember, I don't always remember my dreams, but if I remember them, then I try to figure out what the heck is going on. So let's see. You latch onto unhealthy coping mechanisms. When you stuff down your feelings, this number 3, it says you latch onto unhealthy coping mechanism. Anything in extreme is harmful. So when you find yourself drinking, and that as I have been in that place where at work, we talked about it earlier, I was stuffing down my emotions and I started drinking. Okay. Smoking, eating, or even working out excessively. Know that your mind is trying to avoid the inflow of certain thoughts and emotions. I have been there before. And when it did finally resolve itself, it was not pretty. Not at all. Um, So I haven't had that happen in quite some time, though, since I stopped working at the steel mill. Because when I went to the factory, I was not going to let I wasn't going to let anything just fester. I had decided at my age, at a new job, that there was no reason for me to do that. And it wasn't easy, confronting your bosses or confronting other people who have different ideals than you do, and especially being the only woman in the maintenance department. That was very difficult as well. Your body experiences a great deal of stress when you bottle up your emotions. As a reaction, it produces the stress hormone cortisol. This happens as a counteraction to the release of adrenaline. However, it comes with a downside. It suppresses appetite in most people. While you might lose weight initially, once the cortisol takes over and your appetite returns, it leads to weight gain. So, this is the article we should have started with. This is some really good stuff that I had never heard before. So, that's number 4. Let's see if number 5 is as mind blowing as number 4. Okay. It says, you will experience digestive issues. When your brain experiences stress, it tends to affect the gut as well. It could manifest in the form of stomach cramps, bloating, diarrhea, or constipation. This further slows down your metabolism and subjects you to many more issues. Excuse me. That's an annoying video. And number 6, headaches on a regular basis without any underlying physical ailments could imply that you are struggling to keep your emotions under control. When this happens, you also find it hard to focus and find yourself mostly distracted. All of these effects confirm one thing. That is, your emotions find a way to surface, and it is up to you to let them out in a healthy manner and wait till they affect you adversely. So I wish that there was something about how to let your emotions out in a healthy manner. That might be what I need to look for then in my next article. So, were there any interesting things in that last article that you guys thought you would like to talk about? I thought that one was much better than the first one. That's why I usually I try to get 3. I try to get 3 because sometimes one is just not as good. That one I deleted. And then the first one was long, but this last one seemed to give me personally more answers, because I knew about the cortisol, but I didn't know exactly how that worked. Because when you are anxious and stressed at first, you will lose weight because you will lose your appetite. And then it said that there's like a rebound effect. Then the cortisol, once it levels out and your appetite comes back, then you have a hard time you'll gain weight and you have a hard time losing it. And I stayed at the same weight. Man, I was there for 20 years, 22 years, 21 years, something like that. And I weighed close to the same weight the whole time I was there, I would say, because you had to wear uniforms, and my uniforms were always the same size, basically. I think I lost a little bit of weight when I worked where the steel and the heat and everything was at. But then once I went into maintenance, I kept my weight about the same throughout my whole journey. Diet or not, didn't matter. Activity or not. And we were always running. There was always activity, but just did not lose any weight. And I think that's what it was. It was the cortisol we were just talking about. So, yeah, I found that article to be much more interesting than the first one. The cortisol was number, what did we say? Where'd my glasses go? I'm always taking them off and putting it back on. I keep losing them. So unexpected weight fluctuations for sure. Digestive issues. 6. Headaches. I would always get, like, tension headaches. So I know the difference between a tension headache. Okay. And definitely unhelping coping mechanisms, the drinking and the eating. Um, I was definitely a junk food junkie. I mean, when you work 16 hours and you get off work and you're finally like, "Well, I didn't eat all day," and you eat something that's not good for you. Did that so often, and I was on swing shift for a long time too, days, afternoons, midnights, and that causes you to have horrible eating habits as well. So we got 10 more minutes. I can just keep yakking unless you guys have something you want to talk about. Um, so what my goal with today was to stop um, mental health awareness, to stop stuffing my emotions. Is that what I called it? It's on my book here. Stop holding in my emotions. That was the goal today, to figure out why we hold them in and how to deal with that. I think we hit on a little bit of it, but I'd still like to find out more about the topic on number 4, or unhealthy coping mechanisms. Your mind is trying to avoid the inflow of certain thoughts and emotions. You experience weight fluctuation, digestive issues, also find it hard to focus. There was something in here, downside, suppress appetite, healthy coping mechanisms, I think. No, your mind is trying to avoid the inflow, feeling anxious all the time. Man, the whole time I worked there, I was anxious and depressed. What is that term? I'm going to have to go back and read the whole article. Might lose weight initially. Cortisol leads to weight gain. When the brain experiences stress, it can manifest headaches without understanding. You also find it hard to focus and find yourself mostly distracted, right? Absolutely. All of these confirm one thing. And it's up to you to let them out in a healthy manner, or wait. Or wait till, and it's up to you to let them out. Letting your emotions out in a healthy manner. And that's what we need to talk about, I think. How do we let our emotions out in a healthy manner? Thank you, Frugal Mama. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you. So letting your emotions out in a healthy manner, I think we need to cover that and find out some coping mechanisms, because I know that working out is one way to let our emotions out in a healthy manner. I know that that helps us with our mental health and any form of working out, just stretching, doing some form of, I would say working out is like self-care, taking care of yourself. Hey Keto, how you doing? Hey. We're talking about holding in our emotions. So I think next week, we're going to be talking about letting our emotions out in a healthy manner. Trying to figure out how to deal with that in a healthy way. I know working out is one, but that can't be the only one, is it? Do you guys think? Can't just be working out. I do the stretching and stuff, and there is a chair yoga class, Frugal Mama, in my area that I am going to be joining after the summer. That's what I'm going to be doing in the winter. In the summer, I'm going to be using the pool and swimming. I got my suit ready. I haven't been down there yet. I think it's open because it's after Memorial Day. So, gonna start swimming at least 1 to 2 times a week. Holding emotions also affects your body. Yes. Yep. And the articles they did cover that about the things that it does do to you. I think I have your chair yoga playlist because I've been watching it. So you did give me the playlist. So I found a class too. It's not expensive. It's mostly for seniors and people who have disabilities. And I think that if I get out and go, not only will I be socializing, but I'll also be getting out of the house to go and do that. And so I'm excited about that. And I just need to the only thing about the pool is I'm afraid I'm gonna be cold. It's like, Crystal, if I don't start going to the pool within by June or July, I'm just gonna go join chair yoga. But I got a new swimsuit, I got long sleeve swim shirt so I don't get burned. I'm ready to go. I just gotta go. So yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you gave me your playlist, Keto. I'm pretty sure you did because I do have it. So there's got to be I mean working out is an excellent way to do that. I don't disagree. I'm just like are there other things we can do besides that that will help us with letting out our emotions? And I think therapy might even be on that list too. Yeah, therapy. So working out and therapy. So we'll be talking about that in the future. It's like I take this large topic and I need to bring them down to smaller and smaller bites. So I know, don't we all? We do. Yeah. So I am stretching. I'm always stretching to try to keep my body from hurting. And that helps so much. So much. And I always feel good when I do that. But I do want to try some swimming, so I can use my knees without the impact, without the pain. So I'm gonna try that for sure. And when I was young, I always loved swimming. We had a pool when I bought a house. We had a pool for several years, and then work happened, and I've already told you about my work life. So the pool went bye bye in that time too. Cold water can be good for your pain. Yeah, for my knees. I'm thinking it'll help with swelling, any swelling as well. And I'm also hoping that the cold from the pool, because I'll be swimming, I'm going to be using, that new knee and the old joints. I'm hoping that after that, like if I go for a long walk, my knees will swell up. I'm hoping that it will prevent that and then I can work out more. Yeah. Okay, December drum session. Do you do that in December? Djembe drum session. I'm not sure what that is. I've done the thing where you got the big ball, the ball you sit on to exercise, and you djembe, okay, and you use the bucket, you put the ball in, and then you use the drumsticks. I don't know if that's like what you're talking about, but I've done that. That's fun. That was fun. So cathartic. Mhm. Just take it easy, don't do too much too soon. I won't, I'm not sure what I'm gonna start with. I just know I'm gonna start going to the pool. So we're gonna start there and start with maybe a couple laps and then increase if I can, We'll have to see every day you have to see how you feel. So, yeah, as you get stronger, hopefully things will start to work better. But if they don't, it's okay. I'm still getting out in the sun. I'm still getting my vitamin D, still getting my exercise. So, yep. So I'm gonna try to get out there. It's supposed to be almost 90 degrees. Is it today or tomorrow? So I'm gonna have to drive down there and see if the pool is open. Might do that today. Hmm, we'll see. So thank you guys so much for coming to my live today. I hope this was helpful. And, just leave me some comments if there's anything you want to talk about. I'm open to pretty much everything. And, I'm almost an open book. So, Thank you guys for watching and commenting. And I love talking with everybody here. This helps me so much. I appreciate you all. So everybody have a good day, and I will see you next week. Bye, everybody. Bye.